How's it going, guys? My name is Zach with the movie Castle, and today we're going to be talking about Lucio Fulci's Gates of Hell trilogy. These are Italian zombie movies from 1980 and 1981, all directed by Lucio Fulci, and all of which are starring Catriona McCall, or sometimes Catherine McCall, you know, these actresses with stage names and whatnot. But I do really like the idea of a trilogy, all with the same director and all with the same star, kind of like Stuart Gordon did with Jeffrey Combs and Barbara Crampton when he did the Lovecraft trilogy. Pretty cool. But these movies are about how there are 7 gates of hell scattered throughout the earth, and in each movie, one of them is going to be opened, and when hell is opened up, the dead walk about, and you get some zombie movies, but it's not your standard zombie apocalypse plot. These are much more free-flowing and much more, cool isolated scenes with gore in them. But yeah, when you think of a Fulci movie, the plot is a little bit, abstract, to say the least, and you have to really think how everything is pieced together, and there's a bunch that doesn't necessarily make sense, but that's part of their charm. They're more about the atmosphere and the individual pieces. They're I guess you could say quite abstract in how they go about things. Times they don't make much sense, but crazy zombie stuff, crazy gore stuff, really cool. But you have to know that they're a lot different than what you might be used to from standard American zombie movies. Let's go ahead and jump right in to the first one. This is City of the Living Dead. It is also known sometimes simply as the Gates of Hell, and you get this cover. This is the Blue Underground release, and you get the zombie looking over a big city. Now, the city in this movie is actually Dunwich, who you Lovecraft fans will recognize that name. Not nearly as big as the city on the cover there, but still a pretty cool thing. But you get this priest that is secretly evil, and he kills himself by hanging himself in this graveyard in order to open the gates of hell. And when he does that, his ghost appears and kills several people in strange supernatural ways. And of course, at the end of the movie, you get a big crazy zombie sequence, and you get a tomb sequence. So at the end of the movie, they have to go in this big creepy tomb, and it is a great sequence. I love the climactic sequence in this. Open it up, we get the Blue Underground catalog there, which is a nice little hand popping out of a theater, and we get the disc, which is the same as the cover. Overall, I really do like this one, primarily for its climactic sequence. It's pretty fun. But if we move right along, we have the most famous of this series. This is Part 2, The Beyond. Now, it is Part 2, but that being said, you can watch these movies in any order. They only relate to each other by the director, the star, and the fact that they each revolve around one of the gates of hell. So you don't have to watch this second, you can watch them in any order. By the way, when I'm talking about that, the series states that there are 7 gates of hell, and we have a trilogy here. I really wish Fulci had went ahead and done something to talk about the last 4 gates of hell. I'm like, where are they? Did no one ever tried to open them, I guess. But anyway, you get the Beyond here, and you get this fun, I really love this logo. The logo goes through the door and into the beyond, so I do love the logo telling you a bit of a story there. And then this really fun poster art. the nice red and green, and you see all the zombies there. And this is from Grindhouse Releasing, who finally gave us the uncut version of this. Flip it to the back, you get this nice zombie there. But this one is about this girl, and she inherits her family hotel. Now, little does she know that way back in time, this artist was trying to open a gate of hell there, and an angry mob came and killed him and crucified him in the basement and walled him up. Now, while she's renovating the hotel, one of the guys, a plumber, goes and tries to find the source of a water leak and accidentally breaks the wall while he does it looking for the leak. Breaks the wall and finds where this guy is buried, unleashing him, where strange supernatural and zombie occurrences occur once this guy is broken out there. And this is often considered the best, and it's the most Fulci out of all of these. The gore and kills are turned up crazy, but also the fact that the plot doesn't make as much sense is also turned up to a crazy point as well. You have to really be paying attention and understand how these characters relate to each other, and all the different scenes just kind of pop up and go crazy. So it is, yeah, the hardest to follow, but also has the most intense scene and the best ending. I really do love the ending of this, but I'm obviously not going to spoil the ending there. We open up this release. We get the disc there, and you can see a different image on the disc. It's the artist being crucified, and these guys and some dogs running into the foreground. Back is pretty much the same. And we go ahead and pop this open, and we see a booklet with the Italian poster, La Adila, so Italian, The Beyond. And we get the disc there, 2-disc set, extras, and it sort of divided the front poster into 2 pieces there. And we looks like, yeah, we get Lucio Fulci's filmography if you want to find out more about him. And we get a poster for City of the Living Dead here, but this time listed as Twilight of the Dead, which I actually hadn't heard that title for it before, but everyone thought Land of the Dead would be called Twilight of the Dead, but of course that didn't happen, probably thanks to Twilight. We got Land of the Dead instead. And then we have this, which I really like, The Beyond, the soundtrack. Original music remastered by Fabio Fizzi. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but I really do love Italian horror movies. Have really great music. Kind of crazy, kind of a little weird, over the top, but I really do love getting the soundtracks with these Italian horror movies. It really is really great. It's fun to put them in while you're in the car and drive around. Feel like you're in some weird driving scene from an Italian horror movie. But yeah, I always got to give a shout out whenever they have the soundtracks. I love the soundtracks to Italian horror, especially the Goblin ones. That's not Goblin, but sometimes they are. Up next, though, not quite moving on from the last movie, we have the widescreen edition of Seven Doors of Death. Seven Doors of Death is The Beyond. This is the original cut that was distributed in America, and if we flip to the back, this is only 80 minutes long. 80 minutes versus 89 minutes. They cut out some of the gorier parts, but for a long time, Seven Doors of Death was the only way you could get The Beyond until, I think it was Grindhouse Releasing put out the full version. Now, I haven't actually watched this cut yet, because I'm like, why would I if I have The Beyond? But apparently someone told me it has a different soundtrack through it, which isn't as good, but is different and actually pretty good. So I might watch this later just for the soundtrack, but yeah, the idea of that missing 9 minutes is kind of but I figured why not pick up both cuts just to have them. But yeah, I've only ever watched The Beyond, but I'll get around to watching Seven Doors of Death eventually. But this is the censored original American cut that was the only thing available for a long, long time. And if you've only seen Seven Doors of Death, I would definitely recommend watching the Beyond cut. This put out by Diamond there. Diamond puts out some cool stuff, but their releases are kind of minimal. But at least you're getting these titles out there. And also from Diamond, we have the last one in the series, widescreen edition directed by Lucio Fulci, House by the Cemetery. Now, a lot of people say Beyond's the best, and they probably are right, but I feel like that kind of discounts the other two. I really like House by the Cemetery. As far as the Fulci movies go with those weird and rambling plots, this one probably makes the most sense out of all three movies. It has a relatively straightforward plot. There's a teacher who is in this house, and it actually looks pretty much like the house on the cover there. This house with a cemetery in it, and the teacher, for some reason, goes crazy and kills the mistress he has hiding with him in the house, and then kills himself. And this guy, your main character, and his wife and kid are going into the house to pick up his research, because even though he's dead, if they finish the paper he's writing, that could mean a substantial bump in his salary of like $5,000 a year. So he's going in there to finish the research, and the basement door is mysteriously boarded up, and while he's there he finds out about the original owner of the house, a Dr. Freudstein, who has been into illegal experiments before he died. And of course Dr. Freudstein's up to something, much like the graveyard and then the hotel. This house sits on the third gate to hell, and a bunch of crazy stuff's gonna happen, including a mysterious neighbor kid that has psychic powers for some reason. We'll find out what's up with that. But you get a picture of Freudstein on the back there, and we'll open it up. We have the disc, and this one actually has a bunch of ads behind it, so at least a picture rather than that blank white from the last one. But I really did like this one. The plot was more straightforward, and it really had, a few elements of The Shining. The psychic kid. There's a scene where they chop through the door, and I really did like this. And like I said, its plot makes the most sense out of the three. The finale wasn't as good as the finales in the other two, but I still really did like it, and there's still some pretty cool scenes in there. And overall, a fun finish to the series. Yeah, I liked it. Beyond's still probably the best, but it was pretty cool. However, that being said, my favorite Fulci movie has to be Zombie 2. That is the best. And now that I watched these three for this video, I'm really wanting to go and watch Zombie 2 now. That was such a great movie. But anyway, here's my collection, the complete Gates of Hell collection, including the alternate cut to Part 2. And these are all really fun movies. Just know going in, it's got good gore, it's got cool surreal scenes. Just don't expect the plots to make too much sense. Anyway, to everyone who's watched so far, thank you for watching. To everyone who's liked and subscribed, thank you. You're really helping the channel out. I'll put a relevant playlist on the bottom. If you guys want to see more, there'll be some more stuff there that are in some way related to this probably complete series playlist. Anyway, have a good day. I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Relevant playlist on the bottom. Have a good day.